the original prop beach clothes signs. So that was such a full circle moment.
Look what they did to my boy.
See Bruce's mouth opening and closing. What do you want to show the world, Peter?
You want to see my lock screen?
Oh, let's see. Okay, guys, so today's a very special video. This is my 1,000th video. I've made 1,000 videos, which is insane. So on that note, enjoy. What is this thing with the feet? They're called Italian brain rot. There it is. We've made it. Okay guys, we're here at the Academy Museum because the Jaws exhibition is here. So they have a special limited time kind of Jaws experience at the museum. I've not been here in a couple years, so things have changed, but they're gonna have props from the original Jaws film. As you know, I'm a massive Jaws fan. Tickets are pretty affordable. They're like $25. It's about a 15-minute drive from the Chinese theater. Okay, just got into the Academy Museum. Just ran into one of my relatives. I've talked about this a little bit in the past, but so one of my relatives is Jeff Koons, if you know anything about art. It's Jeff. So I haven't seen him in a couple years. It was great catching up with him. But yeah, what are the chances? He's in New York, I'm in Florida, and we're both in California at the same time. So yeah, I just ran into him in the little restaurant right here. They got a little photo op right here. This is like the little changing tent that they had on the beach. So it opened on September 14th. Only at the Academy Museum. They have some different merchandise for sale. They got the Lego set of the orca, some of the Funko Pops, salt and pepper shakers, the game where you pull out the pieces, and then some of the figures back there with a bug. We've seen some of the stuff at Universal Studios. Cyberpunk, envisioning possible futures through cinema. It looks like they might have some stuff from Blade Runner, Matrix, Terminator, Tron, the phone booth from Blade Runner. It's crazy, like someone saved this for so many years. It's like a TV screen projecting music.
That's it?
We're not in the future yet. We haven't caught up yet.
Maybe there's something over, no, this is like books and stuff.
They have the Godfather photo experience. They have a replica of the desk.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Look what they did to my boy.
The Wanda Gallery. Well, they have more than one phone booth prop. We got the nameplate and stress balls used by Lawrence Fishburne as Furious Styles. Hat was worn by Ice Cube. We're going into the Academy Awards room now. The Best Picture Award for Titanic, Best Visual Effects in 1977 for Star Wars. They have the Casablanca doors here, and then over here they have the piano. So you see it right there, then they have the image right there. This is the typewriter that was used by the screenwriter for Psycho. Psycho was written on that typewriter. Look at that original Psycho poster. Look at the vibrant colors on that. Here's an original Jaws poster. We've seen all the Jaws stuff on the 4th level, I think. 50 years old. We got a poster for Fargo, Marathon Man, one of the best horror movies ever made, The Thing. An original poster. Here's some props from Parasite. Great film if you've never seen it. The family portrait and an art painting. Here they have a bunch of the stuff from Sweeney Todd. So we got one of the wigs. It's like sideburns over there. Here's Johnny Depp's outfit. And then one of the most famous pieces, the razor right there. The Wizard of Oz, it's showing all the different concept versions of the Scarecrow that they tried, all the different makeup versions. There's makeup version number 2. Look at that one, that one's terrifying. We got another one, and this is pretty much what they ended up with. Some of the different versions of the lion. And then over here, there's some different versions of Dorothy. So version number 1, version number 2, and then version number 3. We got the original concept of the Tin Man, makeup version number 1. So the witch had a very different style, but there's the concept they were going for. Got the witch wig. See him, I see Bruce right there. The Bruce up there, that was like one of their big exhibits when they first opened. That Bruce was kind of lost. It like was in part of a junkyard lot, I think, the Universal sold, and then it was sitting in a junkyard for years, and then someone realized what it was, and then Greg Nicotero, you know, one of the most famous makeup artists around, him and his team restored Bruce. So Bruce is the next level up. We'll see him in a second. But there's a crazy backstory we talked about the last time we were here. Going back to Peter's favorite exhibit, Cyberpunk. Spider-Man right there. Will there be more than one prop? Let's see. Interstellar. Such a wonderful film. But there's TARS. This is one of the models from Interstellar. And over here is gonna be the Ranger ship. Some stuff from Close Encounters. They even have one of the masks. Terrifying, one of the alien masks. Nightmare fuel. They have Thor's hammer from Thor from 2011. And then over here, a much better film. James Gunn's version of Suicide Squad. That's Harley Quinn's outfit. You got Morpheus's outfit from The Matrix. That's so cool to see in person. Look at all the little bits of detail. Captain America's shield from the first film. Iron Man's helmet from the first film. The suit worn by Doug Jones for The Shape of Water. Could you imagine having to wear that all day? They have a xenomorph head from the original Alien film. You can see where the actor would be looking out of those little eye holes right there. But again, for something like this to survive for so long, it's pretty impressive. This is from the movie Naked Lunch. They're gonna have Frank from Donnie Darko. They have Teddy, the animatronic puppet from the film AI. The lunar landing shuttle from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Storm's original costume from X-Men from 2000. It's wild, it's been 25 years since the original X-Men. This is a reference for the Nano Gauntlet from Avengers Endgame. And Tony Stark collects all the Infinity Stones. This is awesome. This is the original Barbasol can from Jurassic Park from 1993. That is crazy to see it right here in person. You have Darth Vader's helmet when it's all melted. Then you have Rey's lightsaber right there. We're gonna come down here to some little porgs. Some little animatronic porgs. They even had a little baby porgs right there. This is the nesting porg. Some of the other porgs from the island. Finn's helmet with the blood stain. So we got C-3PO right here. Last time I was here, I think they had R2 and C-3PO. They have an original Gremlins puppet. This one's definitely been restored because they just like rot away. So the hand would go right there. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man outfit. American Werewolf in London. You've seen this stuff many times in the horror makeup show, but these are the actual ones. The actual animatronic that was used for the transformation. It was all being puppeteered. You got the finished product, and down here we have some of the storyboards of how they wanted the transformation to happen. They have like a Barbie exhibit, a little photo op in Barbie's car. Here's kind of the design that they came up with for Weird Barbie's house. Here's another version that they had for Weird Barbie's house. But over here, kind of the whole little Barbie's dream house town that they made. And you got Ken over here. Girth Juice, all the different horses. Yeah, these are props from the film. You can have the weird Barbie doll, and then also the snow globe, Barbie's comb, Barbie's toothbrush, and toothpaste from the film, and then also the milk. Here we go. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Ba-da-da! You got Bruce right there. Here we go. The Jaws exhibition. They got Bruce. And then they got Bruce. All right, here's the quick little rundown of Bruce right here. This 25-foot long fiberglass model is the fourth and final great white shark cast from the original mold, used for Jaws. The 3 sharks used during production were destroyed after filming, making this the only surviving model cast for display at Universal Studios Hollywood shortly after the film's release. It was a popular photo attraction for decades until it was removed in 1990. All right, we're heading in. I cannot wait to see what's in here. So excited. Kind of got the opening. You're in the water. Jaws. She was the first. The unseen danger. There's the harness that they used for the actress for the opening shot. So it says, to film the opening scene, crew members tugged actress and stuntwoman through the water using cables attached to her jeans. Her own swimming strength kept her head above water. Spielberg, who cast her for stunt work, later said it was one of the most dangerous stunts he's ever filmed. So many great behind-the-scenes photos of the production. It's a true miserable experience for Steven. This is awesome. This is the clapperboard. Several of these playful clappers were constructed for production, but the camera team had to switch to a conventional straight-edged version. While thematically fitting, the shark tooth design would not create the audible clap very well. This clapper was last used for underwater scenes shot in California. This is incredible. Okay, here's a little shot. During their 5 months of filming, the Jaws team became an unmissable presence in the island communities of Martha's Vineyard. Their matching crew shirts made them even more identifiable based on an early concept illustration. The shirts were silk screened and distributed to cast and crew. This is the original buoy. Here's a shot of how it looks, and there it is. After filming, the buoy from the opening scene was kept by Lynn Murphy, a marine mechanic and longtime Martha's Vineyard resident. Oh, you can get a little photo up here as if your hand is sticking out with the little crabs. So good. I believe they just used like one of the assistant's hands, if I remember correctly. While filming the scene in which Chrissy Watkins' remains are discovered, Spielberg decided that the prop arm was not realistic enough, recalling childhood memories of burying family members in the sand during beach outings. He recruited a local waitress to stick her arm out of the sand dunes to imitate Chrissy's severed body part. This is the production office sign. Artist Roger Castell visited the American Museum of Natural History in New York and photographed taxidermied sharks for research during his work on the Jaws paperback cover. His illustrated shark was more fearsome. The resulting image eventually made its way onto the U.S. theatrical release poster, and one of the most famous images of all time. There it is. There is the original sketch. Incredible. Producers Richard and David asked production designer Joe to illustrate the shark action scenes from Peter Benchley's novel as proof of concept to show Universal that the book could be a viable movie. Oh, here's some of the location scouting photos and notes. Here's one of the old Polaroids. This is awesome to see. I've never seen these photos before. So saying that during production, Spielberg stayed in a log cabin called the Oxbow Lodge. Nearly every night he would rewrite scenes with screenwriter Carl, who used the same model and typewriter as the one on display here. Up here they've recreated the Amity sign. This is Brody's police badge. So in the 80s, a collector tracked it down. So right here, this is going to be the inverted 35mm underwater camera. So we see it right there, and then it's right here. My mind is blown that so many of these pieces survived for 50 years. Here's a look. You see the camera over there. This is going to be for the dolly zoom. So the lens was used for the film.
This photo that's on the wall here.
That's just set up some wood and they just rolled it up. They have a little dolly zoom shot they can get. Over here they got the chalkboard that Quint draws his little drawing. So it looks like a production designer, Joe Alves, recreated it for this chalkboard for the museum. So the one that we're watching being made right now is the one that he put on the chalkboard. At the painted billboard with all graffitied "Help Shark." Is this what I think it is? It is. It is the original prop beach clothes sign signed by Steven. We've seen this reproduced so many times at Universal Studios. And there it is. Steven, the beach is now open. The original sign. It's right there. All right, so if you remember when Brody's doing the research. So this is the actual book from the film, Danger in the Sea. This is a replica, and then this is the actual one from the film. So when they're looking at it and the shark is, you know, breaking through the boat, they look outside the window and the kids are on the boat. This is from the film. So we have Hooper's bag right here. So you can see when he's first getting to Amity, he's got his bag right there. This is his backpack from the film. So this dorsal fin was used in Jaws during the scene in which the shark swims into a coastal inlet and attacks a rower. They even have the arcade machine, the Shark Killer arcade machine again. Production designed by Joe. And then Chris, who pretty much owns most of this collection. This is from the film. This is the arcade machine. This is the actual one from the film. Killer Shark. You see the kids playing it on like the boardwalk, and there it is. Here's going to be some notes about the Ben Gardner scene. They have a little keyboard here. You can play the original Jaws notes. This is really cool. So this is going to be the stopwatch and conductor baton that John Williams used when he was conducting Jaws. You can see John Williams right here. Some of the behind the scenes photos of them scoring it to the film. Here's the Academy Award for editing for the movie Jaws. So this right here, this was used to edit the film Jaws. This machine right here won Jaws an Academy Award, and now it's here. Times have changed. Now you can edit videos on your phone, computers. All right, so there's some replica outfits. There's some original pieces. So the costume for Matt Hooper with the original watch worn by Dreyfuss. So that is the original watch from the film. The rest, I believe, is just a replica. Then we come over to Brody. It's going to be the original shirt and undershirt worn for Jaws 2. So not the original Jaws, but for Jaws 2. Now this is going to be Quint's original jacket and shirt from the film. Again, we've seen so many replicas of this throughout the years, but the original jacket. Then this is going to be Brody's original patch. Here's a shark jaw that was used for set decoration. This is awesome. So they had a local welder and metal sculptor. He made this weather vane to go on top of Quint's shack. So this is the original weather vane that was on top of Quint's shack. All these jaws we're also using Quint's shack as just set decoration. Here, if you look at Quint's shack, you can see the weather vane right up there. Here we have a replica of the Orca. As you know, the Orca used to be at Universal Studios Hollywood, and some idiot threw it out. Spielberg was pissed when that happened. Here is the harpoon gun. The original harpoon gun from Jaws. Right here. Over here is the prop machete. Here it is, Quint's chair. The reel, because we were the prop beer cans from the film. So you're gonna have the prop fish locator, and then we're gonna have the strobe tracker, and then the prop shark dart, again, from the film. And then over here is also the tank. So some of the stuff is from Spielberg, some of the stuff is from other collectors, but pretty much every single prop and piece from this film is in this museum right now. I really thought I was gonna see like, oh, a couple props. No, this is everything. Every single piece is here. It's all here. Like, we've seen this stuff recreated at Universal Studios for tribute stores. They spend days trying to track down, you know, replicas of the stuff. But no, this is the real stuff right here. This is truly one of the coolest things. I'm just like nerding out so hard right now. If you are a Jaws fan, book a trip immediately. Come see this. Your mind will be blown. Over here, we got some of the prop barrels. Oh, this is cool. You can recreate the scene and they're sharing their stories and sharing their scars. It also looks like this is the original light that's hanging right there. Here's some of the different concepts for the Orca. Now, I believe they just went with like a lobster fishing boat, but you got the concepts right there. You can see Bruce in the water, the shark dart, and the shark cage from the film. Again, every single piece of the film is literally here, except the Orca. Alright, so this is awesome. This kind of shows the inside mechanics of Bruce. Again, as you know, he didn't work very well. He was supposed to be in the film a lot. Because it didn't work, he was barely in the film. So you do this up and down. You see Bruce's mouth opening and closing. And then you got this one. This is gonna move Bruce's head back and forth. See what this one does. Oh, this one moves the back of the tail. Oh, here's some behind the scenes photos of them kind of sculpting the shark, the skeletal structure that they made. So this is how it looked, and then they recreated it right there. Got Spielberg right there on the Orca. Some concept drawings of how the bite was going to work and how it was going to look. These are some shark teeth castings from the original mold. Here's the air control valve that was used for the shark in Jaws. This is going to be the storyboard binder. Oh, the ending shot, right? Looking down the barrel, popping out of the water, and then shooting the tank. Here we have, looks like a Jaws towel, and then a shirt. They got a vinyl, then they got the books. Here's some knee-high Jaws socks, a shark tooth necklace, patches, plastic cup. Here's a Jaws like gumball machine. All different sorts of necklaces. This is some of the newer stuff. The Funko Pop. Oh, look at this poster. Jaws, a terrifying motion picture from the terrifying #1 bestseller. Look at this one. This is like a hand-painted poster. Look at that. That is cool. There's a premiere ticket from Martha's Vineyard for Jaws. We got an old school Universal Studios California bag. This one came out last year. Little pendant right there. This tiki mug came out last year. The little Jaws cereal box. We got one of the collectible little sippers from Universal Studios. This is the Bruce that we just saw outside on the escalator. So this is at Universal Studios, right? Then it got sold and it was here and it was just all sun-baked. And then this is them after they've restored it, installing it. The Jaws exhibit, one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life. It's every Jaws fan's dream. If you're a Jaws fan, Universal fan, you gotta book it immediately. It is kind of a weird full circle moment. This video, it's very odd because like, I've been a fan of Jaws for a very long time, right? My YouTube profile pic is me wearing a Jaws shirt from 11 years ago. And then Jeff, I remember talking to him, he was just telling me, he was like, Kevin, anything that you make in life, right, is art. So like, be passionate about it. And I run into him in California. It's kind of a full circle moment, right? Like my love for Jaws, theme parks, Jeff and art and making videos, and like, now we're here. So that was such a full circle moment, but yeah, I'm so glad I made the decision to make YouTube videos over a decade ago. The fact that it's my full-time job to make YouTube videos and to take you guys along on these little journeys, and I still, you know, love movies and Jaws. It's just such a weird full circle moment in this video today. What do you want to show the world, Peter?
You want to see my lock screen?
Oh, let's see. Oh, you and Igor right there. What a moment when you two had
I have other lock screens too, so it's not like just that.
Kitcher, Igor. They got some collectibles in the gift shop. They have whatever this thing is. It's some sort of collectible resin figure. And there's Bruce down there, and then the swimmer at the top. They do have some special shirts, audience filled of movie theaters in summer of 1975 to witness Jaws. I remember my mom saying when she went to go see it in theaters, they then went to like the beach and no one was in the water. Like the entire population in the globe was not going into the water because of this film. It terrified everybody. Still to this day, you're gonna need a bigger boat. So it's gonna be running from September 14th until July 26th, 2026. You got a little bit of time. Chucky's working the corner, trying to get some tips. It's literally just a Chucky figure. Trying to get tips. Okay guys, welcome back to the office. It's kind of an insane milestone. I've made 1,000 videos. I never thought in a million years I would make 1,000 videos. You guys have watched me grow up over the course of over a decade now. You've seen me go on so many different fun journeys and experiences, and it's crazy. I made 1,000 videos. So I want to thank all you guys so much for like always watching and supporting the videos and the channel. So about a year before I even started YouTube, I was talking to Jeff at like a party. He was just explaining to me how just like anything you create in life is art. Anything that you use your imagination for is art, and that you should be proud of that. You should always kind of be proud of anything that you're creating, because you're not copy and pasting anything. You're actually creating something, and that's very hard to do, because the hardest thing honestly to start doing is to, you know, hit the record button and start filming, or, you know, start painting. That's one of the hardest things to do. So be proud of, you know, whatever you make. So I've always kind of listened to that kind of philosophy, you know, this entire, you know, decade plus on YouTube, to like always kind of challenge myself with, you know, what I make with these videos, and have my like artistic expression throughout, you know, the way I edit these videos. If you create anything in life too, just like appreciate it, because you're actually creating something. So guys, on that note, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and join the family.
We love the family!
And guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for watching, you know, 1,000 videos, if you've seen every single one, which is insane. And I will see you all very soon.
Look what they did to my boy.
Peter's being interviewed for the Hooterade?